Timur is a mad, evil genius, and he's nuts, and his work is incredibly cool and strange, and he's got very odd angles on everything, on even very big, emotional, sincere things. He undercuts it with a very strange angle, which I respond to very well. I think that's great.
This, stack, then pull back, inside the gate, and they're firing. Oh, little bit back.
He wants me to reverse that.
Let's go.
Yeah. It's very exciting.
He's studied art for 6 years, and he's a very deep-thinking, focused guy. So it's cool to see him in the middle of a big Hollywood movie because he's bringing to it something that's unusual.
Good!
It took me 2 weeks to be able to say Timur Bekmambetov. And then I stopped calling him Timur at all, and I called him Becky.
Day number 32.
Welcome to
62.
His approach to filmmaking is completely out of the ordinary. The stuff that he's doing, you haven't seen before. You'll see afterwards, but you haven't seen it before.
I remember the first time that I saw Timur's film Night Watch, and the cinematic experience of it and the visual language employed by Timur in that film was so unique and eye-popping and extraordinary. I thought, well, that's a voice that needs to be heard everywhere. And I thought, well, that's an absolute perfect fit to what we're trying to accomplish and wanted.
We can start from there and follow him till the elevator.
I just think that I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about why I'm different. Everybody's different, and just I have to make something interesting for myself and for audience. I imagine, and it will be different. And for me, to make this movie means to communicate with a new audience and to be interesting storyteller for them.
It has to be like this. You can stay here, and he will continue to push it. Yeah.
Some of the stuff he's doing, it's such a creative place, what's going on when we film it. It's like he allows you to come with ideas, and he comes with ideas, and he dialogues. You know, the funny part was for me was his English wasn't like as clear so I could understand everything. So we would just communicate, and I started to just understand him at a certain point where he is a really talented director, and I'm really grateful to be here, like seeing his process too, and seeing that he's letting us, you know, just go for ours and create at that place. So he wants everything to be good.
Let's move them over there from the beginning, looking that direction. Right?
You gotta have passion for what you do, and I feel his passion coming through for the movie, for movie making. So it's great to work on. Just we connect, even with the language barriers.
What makes him different in one way, and he would tell you this, is that he likes to go into something, look at not just what you see, but then come closer to it, further into it, and then further, and then further and further into the DNA of something, whether it's a bullet or a gun or a car. He likes to go below the surface.
He approaches everything from a very darkened and ironic angle. He really does think differently to most filmmakers. Sometimes I'm quite shocked at what he asks me to do, but generally it is for the good, I think, and actually elevates the material. See this? See that particular piece there? It's rat feces. No, I don't have any more rat feces on me. Oh yeah, that's rat feces. That's what happens when rats eat food and they digest it. And what they don't use is left behind. Comes out of their behind, comes out of their anus, and it ends up in actors' hands.
What makes Timur a little different, you know, growing up in in a different part of the world, having different experiences, you know, looking at what we are looking at in a different way, seeing different things. You know, if you live in the city and you grew up there, you look at the city different as somebody who just walks in.
I think Timur was a stroke of genius getting him involved. If it had been a more mainstream director, you know, possibly even an American director, it wouldn't have carried over that same attitude, you know. Timur comes from a place that's even colder than Scotland. He comes from Kazakhstan. British writers generally do stuff that's a little bit more hard-edged than the American comic book writers. And I think the Russians, maybe because they're in a slightly colder and more bitter place than even here, have got an edge that even we don't have. So he just brought his own punky kind of attitude to it that I wasn't expecting at all. And if anything, I think he even amped up the violence. It's even nastier than the book in a lot of places.
3, 2, 1, go!
And Timur seemed gleeful about it. He seems to revel in this kind of thing. So he and I, we got on very well. The minute we met, we instantly liked each other. He had no idea what I was saying, probably, and I had no idea really what he was saying, but for some, we seemed to kind of smile at each other a lot and slap each other on the back.
I'm trying to do what I like, and of course surrounded with new people, like the crew and actors and producers. It's people from another world, and I'm trying to listen to understand how people react. It's just like in theater. You're on stage and then there's a huge audience, and it's all the vibrations helps you to move forward.
One of the great things that Timur brings to all of his work is a very strong comedic sense.
42J, take 5.
Not in a silly broad way, but in a dark comedic way that constantly undercuts the earnestness of the film. And so while you're seeing very, very severe and sometimes bloody sequences, there's something that appropriately, in a very character-driven way, is darkly comedic. And it's that constant undercutting and irony that Timur brings to it, both in the script and visually, that I think gives Wanted a very unique tone and transcends the genre as we know it and makes it something that audiences will enjoy and be marvelously entertained, but also something they haven't seen before and experience a thrill and a great ride and great characters and great acting, all within the very sure and deft hand of a truly visionary filmmaker.
I think the life is dark, but humor is humor. Just it's humor in dark context, the dark environment. But the humor is the only way to survive. And during this very tough movie with a lot of violence and action and scary stuff, the humor helps audience, characters, and audience to survive. I love audience. I want to give them something exciting for 2 hours because life is not so easy and happy. And for 2 hours they have to enjoy something very rich and enthusiastic and energetic and funny.
Pleasure. Take care about this. Oh.
Too bad Datro's not here.